Tonight, we're diving into something really special. It's a simple but truly profound nightly practice from the spiritual teacher Paramahansa Yogananda. It's all about a method for cleansing your spirit, letting go of the day's junk, and finding a much deeper, more peaceful rest. So, let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? The day is finally over, you're getting ready for bed, but there's this lingering sadness or a kind of restlessness that you just can't shake. It's not even a specific worry, it's just something more subtle, a kind of weight.
While Yogananda has a name for this feeling, he calls it spiritual residue. Just think of it like the energetic static from our day. Every single interaction, every stressful meeting, every hour you spent scrolling on your phone, all of it leaves this subtle little imprint on our consciousness. It's like a vibrational echo that can really weigh us down.
I love this metaphor. Imagine your soul is this perfect, unbreakable mirror, and its whole job is to reflect divine light. Well, all that spiritual residue we just talked about, it's just dust that settles on the mirror's surface during the day. And here's the crucial point. Dust can definitely obscure the reflection, but it can never, ever stain the mirror itself.
And that idea, that's the absolute foundation for this entire practice. This isn't about trying to fix something inside of you that's broken. Not at all. It's about remembering a wholeness that has actually always been there. This is such a powerful shift in mindset, isn't it? We're not doing some chore because we feel guilty or unworthy. No, this practice is an empowering act of just remembering. It's about gently wiping away the day's dust so we can see the perfect, shining mirror that was there all along. Every day our mind kind of dresses us up in what Yogananda calls false garments. These are those temporary identities from our ego. I'm so tired, I'm anxious, I'm just not good enough. We start to believe these fleeting states are who we really are, instead of our eternal, radiant self. This nightly practice is really about consciously, intentionally taking off those garments. This quote it gets right to the very heart of it all. Your true nature, your soul, is completely untouched by whatever happened today. Purity isn't some prize you have to win. It's your original blueprint. And this practice is simply the way you return to it. Okay, so that's the why. How do we actually do this? Let's break down the four-part invocation that is the absolute core of this sacred nightly cleansing. So the prayer itself is broken down into 4 beautifully simple steps. It kicks off with an invitation, then it moves to a conscious release of the day, then you visualize a cleansing, and you wrap it all up with a complete surrender. This structure makes it so incredibly easy to remember and to do. So the first step is the invocation. And here's the thing, you're not calling out to some distant, far-off being. You're actually just summoning the divine presence that is already inside of you. You're basically just opening the inner door and inviting the infinite to show up in your awareness, right here and right now. Next up is the release. With this one simple phrase, you consciously let it all go. You offer up every single worry, every little resentment, every single regret from the day. You're not pretending these things didn't happen. You're just surrendering your attachment to them, just letting them fall away. The third part is the active cleansing, and this is where you can really use your imagination. You visualize this soft, golden current of peace just flowing down your spine, washing away every little bit of tension and dissolving any of that energetic dust that has clung to you. You can literally feel yourself getting brighter.
And finally, surrender. This is like the sacred seal on the whole prayer. You are placing your identity back where it belongs, into the hands of the divine. You're declaring that you no longer belong to the world's crazy demands or your past mistakes. You belong to spirit. You are home. Okay, so the prayer is done. But wait, there is one last absolutely crucial step. This is all about consciously affirming who you really are right before you drift off to sleep to make sure that cleansing really takes root deep in your subconscious.
The source calls this step identity installation, which I know, it sounds a little technical, right? But you can just think of it as divine reprogramming. The prayer clears the slate, and these final affirmations write the soul's truth onto that clean slate, gently rewiring your mind to match who you truly are. So there are 3 really powerful affirmations. First, I sleep as a soul. This reminds you that you are so much more than just a body falling unconscious. Second, I dream as a child of God.
This anchors your whole sleep experience in divine light and protection. And third, I awaken nearer to thee. I mean, what a beautiful intention to set for your morning.
This last step is what makes the whole practice so transformative. I mean, this quote says it all. The prayer is like wiping the mirror clean. But this affirmation, this is the moment you actually look into that clean mirror and recognize the divine reflection that's staring back at you. So, what happens when you really commit to this practice? Let's talk about the transformation that starts to happen, not just while you're sleeping, but in every single moment of your waking life.
And the benefits are real. They're tangible. You really do start to wake up with a lighter mind and a lighter heart. Your dreams might become clearer, more symbolic, even offering you guidance. You'll find yourself just responding to life with more patience and love because you're starting your day from a place of peace, literally carrying that tranquility from the temple of dreams out into the world with you.
So, what's the commitment here? Well, the source suggests a really clear call to action. Just try this for 21 nights in a row. Why 21? You've probably heard this before. It's often said that's how long it takes to break an old pattern, like falling asleep with all the day's worries, and to establish a new, sacred habit of falling into peace instead. And that brings us to the end. So I'll just leave you with this one simple question. As you get ready for rest, think about this. What spiritual residue, what burden, what false garment are you ready to release tonight?